Hello folks, Candor here. Today I want to show you something I've been meaning to make a video of for some time now. But since it's been in use up until recently, that hasn't been possible and rather difficult to do. But now that it's served its purpose, I can finally show you this. Now, what I have for you today is a LattePanda. And no, this isn't some new seasonal or specialty drink from Starbucks. It is, in fact, an s.b.c. or single board computer. And as you can see, it's quite a small little board. Now, it may not be too surprising to some of you out there seeing such a tiny little board, given the popularity of some other similar devices like a Raspberry Pi and the likes. But this one I think is a little bit more unique. And I'm hoping that by the end of this video you will agree with me on that. So let's get the specs out of the way, shall we? Now the model I currently have has the following features. It has 2 gigabytes of DDR3 memory and 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. It has an Intel Cherry Trail Z8350 quad-core processor that runs at 1.44 gigahertz and bursts up to 1.92, and it is a 64-bit architecture. It has an Intel HD graphics chipset. It has 2 USB 2.0 ports, 1 USB 3.0 port, a full-sized HDMI port, and on the side we have a connector for connecting an LCD panel and a connector for connecting an LCD touch screen. It comes with a micro USB connector for your power. It has a micro SD card slot for expanding your storage. It has an audio jack, a 100 megabit network adapter, your power and your reset switches, 802.11n 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi adapter built on, Bluetooth 4.0, and this one comes with Windows 10 Home pre-installed and activated. That is a lot to pack into such a tiny board that measures only 88 by 70 millimeters. Now for us Americans, that's 3.46 by 2.76 inches. Now to put that into perspective, a business card almost completely covers the entire board. And if that weren't enough, the board has one more trick up its sleeve. Now you may have noticed that I didn't make any mention of these ports and expansion slots on the outer edges. These are GPIO ports, and they're for the included Leonardo Edition Arduino coprocessor. That's right, this is 2 computers in one. In fact, they both run simultaneously. This means you can write the program for the Arduino on the Windows portion and then upload and run it in real time on the Arduino side. In fact, the Arduino will power up in a few seconds once the power plug has been inserted. This means you don't even need to start the Windows portion of the board if you just want to run an Arduino program. So keeping in mind that a business card covers all of the main electronics, leaving only the GPIO pins exposed, this literally is only the size of a business card. And all of this power runs on a single 5-volt, 2-amp power supply. I can and do literally run this on a portable power bank I use for charging my cell phone. Now you can get these boards in one of 4 packages. And the only difference is the amount of RAM and storage and if it comes with or without Windows activation. The one that I have retails for about $119 and, as mentioned earlier, comes with Windows 10 Home Edition already activated and ready to go. For $89, you can get the board without Windows 10. If you want something with a bit more storage and memory, you can get the 4GB RAM with 64GB of storage without Windows for $149 or $209 if you want the Windows 10 Enterprise version. I don't know why they don't offer other Windows options other than Enterprise for the larger version, but since these are all powered by an Intel-powered CPU, you should have no trouble running whatever OS you feel comfortable with. You're really only limited by the amount of RAM and onboard storage you have. They do have a newer line of models now that I'm not even going to get into, as the next generation boards, quite frankly, might melt your brain trying to figure out how they put so many features and power into a small package. I will say that I have been drooling at the opportunity to get my hands on one of those. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not claiming this model is going to replace a laptop or PC anytime soon. Now, while it does work, and quite well actually, it isn't exactly a speed demon. And because of the limited processor and memory, it can have trouble with higher resolutions and complicated Windows software. While it can handle just about anything I throw at it, running it at anything above the recommended resolution of 1024 by 600 can cause a few hiccups. It will browse the web, play YouTube videos, emails, and basic window tasks, and maybe some word processing, small spreadsheets, and the like. But what this was really meant to be is a damn good little project board. The list of available sensors and components for this board are quite impressive as well, and far too extensive to be covered here. I suggest visiting their website for more information on these, and again, I will leave links below for you to follow. To give you an idea of what it is capable of, let me show you what I originally bought it for a few years ago. Let me explain. In case none of you know, I used to have, up until recently, a commercial embroidery machine, a Melco Amaya XTS to be precise. This machine had one annoying feature of only being able to communicate via a physical network cable. Due to the way it communicates over a network, Wi-Fi isn't possible. I'm not going to go into it here, but if anyone knows what the NetBUI protocol is, that should be your first clue. So I set out to make a small computer that I could attach to the side of my machine and use Wi-Fi. I would use this to connect to my server. I would never have to be tethered to my home machine again in order to load designs and run the machine. It worked exactly as I had intended. Although I wish I had a larger LCD panel, but that would have required me to find another power supply solution and add bulk and weight to an already cramped condition. With the 7-inch screen and touch panel I used, they ran off the power straight from the LattePanda. I started it out with a horizontal layout of the screen for my first attempt, resting it on top of the control panel of the embroidery machine, and with a little help from bubble gum, cardboard, sticky tape, and a whole lot of love, and a few prayers, it worked. Then I decided a vertical layout would have been a better solution. So I printed a case to contain the LattePanda and the screen, and printed a support bracket that allowed me to slide it left and right and tilt it as well. This worked out so well for me that this is what I settled on for the final form. But now that I no longer need it for that purpose, I had plans to turn this into something else. A portable wearable computer? Possibly a mobile point-of-sale system with a barcode scanner? Mounted in my vehicle for monitoring engine diagnostics and real-time info? Or maybe just turn it into a Linux or Android tablet. In other words, this board is so versatile and has so many add-ons that the options are endless. If nothing else, it's a fun little board to have and play with and relatively cheap for a test bench or diagnostic system. If you would like more information, please be sure to visit the links that I'm leaving below. And as always, if you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below as well. And as always, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget the bell icon to stay tuned for when I post new videos.